Well, here's my Wednesday walkabout for today, and I'm excited to show you a few things that have changed color since we did this last week. But first, I have a question for you. Obviously, I am au naturel today because I just finished working out with my trainer, and here's my question of the day. I really hate working out. Some people like it, they think it's their personal time. I really hate it, partly because my trainer works me very, very hard. But let me know what you think. Do you enjoy working out? Do you find it stress relieving, or do you hate it like I do? There's my question of the day. So it's kind of windy today, and it feels a little bit muggy. Stuart, do we have rain in the forecast? Yeah, I think we maybe do. It feels kind of muggy and it's very windy. Not real cold, but I think there's the potential for cooler temperatures later on. So things now are in a real state of flux, and you can see I've got my shovel in the bed because I'm starting to dig out stuff, dig up stuff. This lantana is getting ready to go bye-bye because I've got Monday and Tuesday scheduled for all of my bulb planting and also pansy planting. It's finally gotten cool enough to do that. So it will be approximately a week before Thanksgiving, which is usually my designated time that I like to get my bulbs in the ground. I got both my Brex order and my Color Blends order last week, so pretty soon we'll be rocking and rolling and getting all of those tulips and bulbs in the ground. And yes, there'll be over 1,000 of them this year. I'll try to add up exactly how many. So things here, like I say, are kind of chaotic. Stuart, if you don't mind showing the window box, because I've pulled out all the lantana and everything in there. I do keep what haven't already been consumed by the squirrels. I do keep out all of my pumpkins until Thanksgiving. But man, the day after Thanksgiving, they go away because I don't like mixing my holidays. I like each holiday to stand alone and have its special decor. And my sister and I call it a seasonal infraction when you have your pumpkins out with your Christmas stuff. But actually, it's whatever you like. But for me, I'm an absolutist. And once Thanksgiving changes to Christmas, out go the pumpkins and in comes the holiday decor. Now that said, I also don't bring out my holiday stuff prematurely. I don't listen to Christmas music till after Thanksgiving, and I might put my wreaths up just maybe right on Thanksgiving Day or about then, but I don't like to mix my holidays, do I, Stuart?
You don't, but I listen to Christmas music on the way over here.
Well, okay. Well, sometimes I cheat. Okay, what did I just said I wasn't an absolutist, and anyhow, so I need to cheat because, you know, we don't get to listen to Christmas music very often. Stuart, what's your favorite kind of Christmas music?
Bing Crosby.
Oh yeah, me too. I like the really quiet stuff, the instrumental.
Stuff, right?
Yeah, the classics. I don't like some of the new stuff. And so anyhow, you can see that I've pulled out all of this stuff and I'm getting ready to plant bulbs in here. And you may ask, what about bulbs in containers? Well, I'm going to do a video planting some bulbs in containers. And yes, my window boxes are large containers. However, the problem with having, I guess in general, planting bulbs in containers and leaving them just out in the elements is that sometimes if it's a really, really wet winter, then they can rot and get soggy and then they don't bloom. So the ones that I put in pots, I keep under cover in the garage, are protected. Obviously these out here in the window box, I can't do that, but you'll notice that I have something of a slight overhang. And so it's protected generally from getting too much moisture. That's both a good thing and a bad thing. It's okay during the winter, but it's kind of a bad thing when I really want all of that nature's rainfall to come down and soak these boxes, and yet that kind of serves as a deterrent. So all of this is kind of a mess. It seems like we're blowing and cleaning up leaves every other day. Pretty soon it will be time to bring out my leaf mulcher, and I actually had the guys save me some leaves when they blew them up. I have another question for you. If you guys get color blends bulbs, they come in big crates like this, and there are so many innovative ways to reuse, recycle, repurpose these crates. I'd be curious how you use them. Stuart has already placed dibs on a couple of them to put it in the back of his car to organize some of his photography gear and things like that. So I'd be curious to know how you guys use them. Okay, so now come back here. Let's concentrate on this side because they're still ugly on that side. We did get these in the ground. These boxwood that came from the potager, and some of them are doing okay, some of them are struggling a little bit, but they're just kind of healed in. And I've got in the works a whole plan for this to make it look really a lot less messy and just unkempt. But I have to wait on the people to help me with that. So there you go. That is why this is all looking like this. And for those of you that don't know, there used to be a massive evergreen euonymus hedge, a Manhattan euonymus here that we kept pruned to profile. It had been here for as long as we've lived here and many, many years before that. So I bet it was here 50 to 60 years, maybe longer. And it died in that last Arctic blast we had when we had -12 temperatures. And you could see it had been here so long that it grew into the chain link fence, some of which is going to be pulled out. So that is that. I've got two of my urns that had different things in them over the course of the growing season. I'm going to plant bulbs in these. These are part of my QVC collection, and I believe these are still available. And recently they've been doing lots of promotions where they have free ship on everything and easy pay on most things. So if you're not on my Instagram, make sure you hop over and subscribe to my Instagram feed. And obviously, if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe, click notifications, share it with anyone that you think might be interested. But on Instagram stories, a lot of times I give you a heads up of when they're having special deals or things of that nature. I need to check to see what's still available and what's not. And I'm pointing this out in particular. This is why I'm giving this little sales pitch, because I've got another one of these that's actually going to come inside, and it is going to hold my Christmas tree that I'm expecting to be just about this tall right now. So I think it will make a really beautiful, beautiful container. And again, I'm a big copycat. I'm copying something that I saw in a magazine a while ago, that effect. You can see that I have 2 bags of leaves there getting ready to be mulched. And then look, there's just a hint of all of that Boston ivy. That is it. This may be its most beautiful year ever, and it will continue to get more beautiful as fall progresses. There's leaves everywhere. You can see I finally got my firewood rack ready to go. Because I have a fireplace in my kitchen, and this is just right outside the back door, and that's great. We've got some more pots to move around here, but we're waiting to do that on a day when it's not quite so windy. I said before that most of my plants of things that aren't cold hardy have gone into the greenhouse. A lot of them will not be coming back. I'm getting ready to write a newsletter on 5 things I know for sure, or 4 things I know for sure. And one of them is that a person's greatest strength is their greatest weakness, and how those things in general apply to gardening. And one of my greatest strengths, I think, is that I can put together really beautiful vignettes. I can stage, I used to do a lot of display design, so I can stage lots of individual vignettes with containers and things. My problem is that then I have too many of those vignettes all around the garden, and the totality of the landscape doesn't look as good. So I am self-aware, so I'm working on that. We've been using our little fireplaces and fire pits a lot, obviously when it's not rainy. And with our new stash of firewood, that's really nice. And you can see we've just cleaned out all of the ashes in that one. I've got lots of little projects going on. this is all kind of still messy right now because of all the stuff moving in and out, and also there doesn't seem to be a point until I get lots of my bulbs in the ground. Then I'll have everything staged the way I want for late fall, and hopefully for what will be a really pretty Thanksgiving here and a warm Thanksgiving. So I love it when that happens. Then we can be outside instead of just inside. Let me see, what else do we have going here? My hydrangeas are very, very, very confused, and those that bloom on new wood, they are still putting out some blooms. There's buds on some of these really long stalks. Most of these are, I think these from the Southern Living Plant Collection, Dear Dolores and Big Daddy, and then I've got an Annabelle over here. They've gotten huge. And what's nice about hydrangeas, I guess, I'm going to probably thin this out next spring, but the foliage does turn a pretty color, and it looks very autumnal. So if you look back here, you can see that all of the oak leaf hydrangeas too are turning this really, really, really gorgeous color. And these I do bring in, and I use these a lot in flower arrangements, in inside decor, things of that nature. I definitely, this Dutzia here is telling me that after it blooms next spring, please, please, please cut me back hard, and that way there'll be more definition in between the layers, and you'll be able to see some more hydrangeas that are down in there. I'll also be able to access more easily things like this awful mile-a-minute vine that comes up and is just ferocious and obnoxious. I moved because I wanted this to bloom in a color that will repeat some of the shades of this. So I've got an Encore Azalea in here that, if we don't get a freeze beforehand, has big fat buds on it. And it might maybe bloom and then bloom with the backdrop of the oak leaf hydrangea. We will see. If not, it will bloom here in the spring. So I love that. So now, Stuart, let's, the main, the divas of the garden right now, or the main diva of the garden, is probably the Boston ivy. So it is turning a really fabulous, fabulous color. And I can see all of this, y'all, from my kitchen window. I said y'all intentionally because someone said I'm from the South, and they felt neglected. Why do I always say you guys and not y'all? So there's a y'all to anybody who is from the South. And then you can see that this redbud tree has pretty much lost most of its leaves. But I love the way this Boston ivy has climbed through it, and it's still coloring beautifully with these pretty berries that I showed you last week. So from my kitchen window, I get this just really fabulous scene of all of this colorful foliage. I've got a hanging basket still out that needs to go into the greenhouse because Stuart and I did a Skype test for QVC last week, and I wanted a little bit of color in the background. So that guy is a tortoise. All of the other ones were hares and already ran to the greenhouse. The barberry is getting ready to turn, and it doesn't happen every year, but I love it when all of this stuff at one time have their cloaks on of autumnal color. I love that. Excuse me. And maybe this year that will happen. We still don't have a freeze in our 10-day forecast, I don't believe. And usually by now, last year we had the ice storm, and usually by now we have had a hard freeze. I still have out my compact myrtles. Those will go in this week. It's been so warm that I guess I just want to leave them out, absorbing that sunshine for as long as they can. Next week, we will have out my Christmas recommendation list for both stocking stuffers and Christmas gifts. And that will be on my website. And I'll also put some kind of link here, some of the things that I'm recommending for Christmas gifts. And one of them definitely is that giraffe retractable hose reel that I love so much and bought 3 of this year. And they are still working beautifully and worth absolutely every penny. Some exciting stuff going on for my husband, because we're transforming one of the upstairs bedrooms that was for my boys when they lived at home into kind of a man cave and office for him. And so I've got some succulents that I'm going to be putting up in there, and I'll show you that room once we get it all done and all decorated and tricked out, along with some holiday decor stuff. I've got some fun holiday projects coming up, you guys. I'm going to show you a project that I'm doing for my Thanksgiving table that I think will be really, really fun. Here's another question for you guys. I have, I think, 13 or 14 people coming for Thanksgiving. How many do you have coming for Thanksgiving? Are you in a position to be able to have loved ones at your table, or is COVID still an issue with you this year? Just let me know kind of what's going on, because pretty soon it's all about turkeys. And speaking of turkeys, if you haven't already watched Stuart's new animation with the little turkey in it, please do, because it's absolutely adorable. So there you go. There's a little Wednesday walkabout. This is all still a mess back here because lots of bulbs are going to be planted in this entire area, and the final cleanup and outdoor housekeeping measures will be taken after the bulbs are in place. So there you go. Have a great rest of the week, and I'll see you this weekend. Well, here's my fashion epilogue for today, such as it is. You guys caught me completely au naturel. I just finished my workout and didn't have time to change, so forgive me. My jacket is North Face, and let me start over again because I just touched my...
You did, but it's muffled. It's not too bad.
It doesn't matter. Okay, okay.
Well, that time it wasn't because of the wind thing, but you're right to stop. So
okay.
It's okay. All right.
Okay.
3, 2.
Well, here you go. Here is my fashion epilogue for today, such as it is. I just finished my workout and didn't have time to change, so you get me looking this way. I apologize. So let's see. Today, my regular glasses, I do wear contacts. These glasses came from, I believe, Eyeglasses Direct. I can't remember. I've had them for a while. My jacket is North Face. I've had this forever, since my son was in high school, and I remember that because he outgrew it. And when he outgrew it, he said, "Mom, you want this jacket?" And I said, "Yes." So I wear it all the time. It's kind of cool and very windy today, so I've got another North Face jacket just kind of around my waist in case when I'm working out here I get cold. My leggings are Adidas, I believe, and my shoes I just got off of Amazon. So there you go. There is my fashion epilogue for today.